July was our first full month to compare market data to last year when the volcano was going off. And now that things have stopped, have things recovered? We're going to talk about that up next. Hey, what's going on, friends? Dylan Onaka here with the Buy Big Island video blog market update. And this is the first month we get to compare from a year ago when the lava and the volcano was having a full effect on the market. So we were going to look at July of this year versus July of last year to compare what the market was doing in response to the lava that started last May. And as you remember last year, there was a pretty significant drop in the market. And now we're seeing that has completely turned around pretty much. And so we're going to get right into the data and show you what's going on. So if you remember last year in the Kona market in July, we had a 48% drop off in number of units sold. So about half the homes that sold in 2018 as compared to 2017, mainly in response because the lava was raging at that point, right? It started in May and we had basically a full month of everything that was going on a year ago. And the market had responded. People had stopped purchasing. There was a lot of uncertainty. Even though there was no danger in Kona, the news and everything else was very dire. And so there was definitely an effect in the market. But if we're looking at this year versus last year, you're seeing an 88% increase in the amount of units that were sold. So last year, there was like 26 homes that sold in July. This year, there was almost 50. So huge turnaround from a year ago in terms of the number of units sold, which is good news, right? We've kind of gone back to about stabilized where we normally are, around 50 homes sold every month. So that's a good thing. No long-term effects from the lava. It's been stopped now since September of last year. So there's been a lot of time for people to kind of get over it. And a lot of folks have forgotten about it. Everything is calm now. But dollar volume was up, obviously, in response to that, up 20%. And then median price, interestingly enough, is down 3%, which of course means that the middle home that sold, this is not average, right? This is median. Middle home that sold was less than a year ago, even though there's a lot less volume. But as we've continued to see this year, and I've talked about before, there's a dynamic in the market now where there's a lot more inventory on the lower end, and that stuff is selling and moving pretty quickly as opposed to the higher end stuff. And a quick stat that kind of illustrates that is there was 10 homes that were sold under 500,000 in the month of July, which is a lot. There's been months in the past 12 months where that's in the single digits and very low single digits in terms of homes that sell under 500,000. And in comparison, only 11 homes sold over 700,000. So the vast majority of the homes that sold, 38 homes that sold were under $700,000 in Kona, which is a good thing for buyers looking for homes in that price range. But there's definitely, that's affecting the median price by the inventory shifting downward in the price points. So a lot more stuff selling in the lower price points, not as much selling at the higher price points in Kona. Average days on market went up 39% to 78 days. But again, that's pretty normal range. That 60 to 90 days is about how long days on market most of the time homes stay on the market. And then final list of sold price was 92%, down 2%, but still about where it normally is. No big dramatic change there. Same thing, the condo market is very similar to the housing market. It went up 37%, so a lot more condos sold. Only, what was it? 27 condos sold last year, so 10 more sold this year than as opposed to last year. So a big increase in the number of condos. And then obviously the dollar volume followed that up pretty significantly, up 65%. Median price didn't change almost at all, just up 1%. Days on market 85, which is much higher than it was a year ago. So that may be slowing down a little bit, the condo market, in terms of how fast condos are selling, but we've been seeing that fluctuate, between 40 and 90 days. So it's not totally out of the ordinary. And then 97% of final list of sold prices, which is very, very high. Condo sellers are almost getting full price for their condos when they sell. So That's a good indicator if you're a condo owner and you want to sell right now. Land, as always, is all over the place. Went up 50%, but there was a couple of big lots that sold in the resort areas, which makes dollar volume huge and go up 300% almost. But again, not there's never a lot of land that sells in the Kona market. But then if we go to the Big Island market in general, the current units also went up 15%. So there wasn't as big of a drop in the Big Island market as we saw in the Kona market in particular. So there wasn't as big of an increase kind of recovery, but it's definitely recovered and stabilized to about where it normally is. And dollar volume was up 19% following that 15% increase in units. Median price, interestingly, is up 18%. So up to 379,000 median price across the island. So that continues to rise. We've been seeing that continue to rise and continue to be strong across the island. And then days on market didn't change at all. 84 days on market, again, kind of right in that range where it normally is. And then final list of sold price at 90% for the homes market for the whole entire Big Island. So again, not a big fluctuation, down 3%, but that's around normally where it is, between 90 and 95%. On the condo market, also went up, and that it primarily is driven by the Kona market and the Waikoloa market, but up 34% to 63 units sold, and then dollar volume followed that up 55%, and then median price also up 11% to 325 for the condo market. So pretty interesting how the condo market, if you look at it from the entire island standpoint, is almost catching up to the homes median price. And of course, that's driven more by the west side condo market. There's not as many condos on the east side, and there's more homes that get sold on the east side at lower price points. So that averages things out across the island, but getting pretty close there in terms of if you look at the entire island median price for homes and condos. And then the land didn't change very much, up 2%. Volume went up significantly, mainly from the sales that happened in Kona for multi-million-dollar lots. And then median price up to 35,000, which that continues to rise across the island too. And it's surprising to see in some of those markets where you used to be able to get a acre of land for 15 or 20,000. Now they're going for 25, 30, 35,000 in those East Hawaii large agricultural subdivisions. So and then across the board, final list of sold price, no big changes there. Pretty much similar to the Kona market and what it normally is. So definitely a rebound from a year ago when we had lava spewing from the volcano, and everything has been very calm. No changes in volcanic activity recently, and so we don't project any effects in the next couple of months based off of that, but we never know with the volcano. But if you have any questions about this or any specific market around the island, as always, just reach out, put them in the comments, or you can email me at dylan@buybigisland.com, and happy to help out. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Aloha.